Welcome to this video tutorial on how to access and initiate a post-award amendment within eRA Commons and Assist. SAMHSA anticipates that the grant recipient may need to modify its award budget or other aspects of its approved application to accomplish the award's programmatic objectives. Generally, recipients are allowed a certain degree of latitude to make changes to meet unanticipated needs and to make other types of post-award changes. Refer to SAMHSA's post-award amendment website for the specific requirements on the types of post-award changes that require SAMHSA's approval before implementation of the change. Please note, a non-competing continuation is not a post-award amendment. Post-award amendment types that require SAMHSA's approval include budget revision, carryover request, change in scope, key personnel, merger, transfer, etc., no cost extension, organization change. It is important to note that the actual submission of the application to grants.gov is completed by your Authorized Organization Representative, AOR. So, if you experience issues with your grants.gov password, see the grants.gov password reset instructions on the left menu. This brings you to the grants.gov credential guidelines and password reset page. Here you find the grants.gov AOR reset password information.
Back on the Post-Award Amendments for Discretionary Grants page, there is a convenient link to an instructional page in the How to Submit a Post-Award Amendment section. On the Post-Award Amendment Applications page, in the Submitting Post-Award Amendment Applications section, there are additional links for getting help with your AOR credentials. This is just a quick preview of the SAMHSA Post-Award Amendments website.
This recording will walk you through how to initiate, fill out and save, access an in progress, submit, and track a submitted post-award amendment. Initiating a post-award amendment application. In order to initiate post-award amendments via eRA Commons, grantees need to be the project director of a grant with the principal investigator PI role or a signing official SO of the grantee organization with the SO role. To log into eRA Commons, go to public.era.nih.gov/commons. This will bring you to the eRA Commons login screen. Enter your credentials on the left-hand side of the screen. Access the SAMHSA section located at the bottom of the eRA Commons homepage. Select Amendments. Then click Go to navigate to the Non-Research Manage Post-Award Amendments tab. Or, from the Apps icon in the upper left corner of the screen, select Non-Research. From there, select Manage Post-Award Amendments to be taken to the search screen. The Manage Post-Award Amendment search screen will be different depending on the role used to access that page. Project directors will see a pre-populated list with a row for each grant that the PDPI is assigned. Signing officials can set search criteria to find a specific grant or merely select Search to produce a hit list that contains every active grant at the SO's organization. The default search results will only include active grants, unless the Include Expired Segments checkbox is checked. When that checkbox is selected, grants with expired project periods will also be displayed in the search results. After you have located the grant, click the three-dot ellipses icon to select an amendment type. This will open a new application for you in Assist. How to fill out a post-award amendment application. Once the amendment application opens in Assist, take note of the application identifier on the Summary tab, as this is a unique identification that can be used to access work in progress WIP applications. All of the required forms will be populated in Assist for the amendment type that was selected. To start, click on the tab of one of the forms presented. Click the Edit button to fill in the application forms. Each form contains fields with asterisks that are required fields, but some of those will be pre-populated using the information from the existing award. As you complete the required forms, verify pre-populated fields to ensure that the information is accurate and up to date. click the Add Optional Form button to add optional forms manually. To remove an optional form added in error, click Edit, then click the Remove Form button to remove the optional form from the amendment application. On the confirmation window, click Continue to complete the process of removing the form. How to access an in-progress post-award amendment application. To access in-progress amendment applications in Assist, log into eRA Commons, then click the Assist tile to search for applications. On the Welcome to Assist screen, click the Search Applications button. Enter the application identifier as the search criteria, then click Search. Alternatively, you can use any of the other search criteria to locate your initiated post-award amendment application. After verifying the search result, click the Select button to access the in-progress application in Assist. Submitting a post-award amendment application. Upon completing the required fields of your post-award amendment application, click the Update Submission Status button in the left menu. Using the drop-down menu, select Ready for Submission, add comments if you wish, then select the Add Comment button to proceed, or you can proceed by clicking the Continue without adding a comment hyperlink. An application must be error-free before the user can set the status to Ready for Submission. Errors prevent the application from being submitted. Warnings do not prevent the application from being submitted. However, you should review warnings and correct them as indicated if possible, and be sure to review the budget to ensure the totals match. If you receive the federal identifier warning, it can be ignored, and it won't stop you from submitting the application. Once an application has passed the validations and has been marked ready for submission, the next step is to submit the application. To submit the application, you need to be logged into an eRA Commons account with the SO role. Click the Submit Application button on the Summary tab, then click Submit to bring up the AOR Credentials dialog box. Next, the grants.gov AOR credentials need to be entered. The username and password here are not the same as the eRA Commons signing official credentials, and the grants.gov AOR account does not have to be held by the same person who is signed in as the signing official. After typing the username and password, click Enter to submit. Upon successful submission, a confirmation email will be sent to you. How to track a submitted post-award amendment application. After you have successfully submitted your post-award amendment application via Assist, you can access the Manage Post-Award Amendment screen in eRA Commons to track the status of your application. Project directors will see a pre-populated list with a row for each grant that the PDPI is assigned. Signing officials can set search criteria to find a specific grant, or merely select Search to produce a hit list that contains every active grant at the SO's organization. After you have located the grant record, click the three-dot ellipses icon and select the View Amendments option to view a list of submitted post-award amendments. The following statuses can be referred to when tracking your application. Submitted. SAMHSA has successfully received your amendment application. In review. SAMHSA staff have started to review your amendment application. Disapproved. SAMHSA staff have completed the review of your amendment application and disapproved it. Awarded. SAMHSA has completed the review of your amendment application and a revised notice of award has been issued. If you need additional assistance, you can contact your assigned Grants Management Specialist, GMS, for budget and grant-specific questions. You can contact your assigned Grants Project Officer, GPO, for program-related questions. And for technical questions, contact the eRA Service Desk. This concludes this video on showing SAMHSA grantees how to access and initiate a post-award amendment within eRA Commons and Assist. Thank you for watching.